Trauma will keep being your type until you heal your nervous system. That's why you swipe right on the guy who plays games and left on the man who actually shows up. It's why you tell your friends he's so nice and I'm just not that into him. It's also why you sit across from the man who texts you good morning every day and instead of feeling desired, your stomach twists like something's off. And then suddenly you're entangled again with the one who leaves you guessing, the one who makes you check your phone every 10 seconds, the one that disappears and reappears randomly asking to see you on demand, the one who has you crying on the bathroom floor at 2 a.m. telling yourself this must be love because it's so intense and it hurts so much. Here's your savage truth. You do not have a bad picker. You have a hijacked nervous system. And until you retrain it, you are going to keep mistaking chaos for chemistry, silence for suspense, and inconsistency for passion. More importantly, you are going to stay on this leash that you so much like to call love. I'm Megan Webster, an abuse recovery coach, a trauma-informed strategist, and the woman a narcissist hopes to never meet twice. This is the Narcissist Worst Nightmare podcast where survival ends, shadow becomes power, and you step into the dark empath identity that makes you magnetic, untouchable, and incapable of ever settling again. So why does calm feel so unsafe to you? Your nervous system doesn't chase what's good for you, it chases what it knows. If you grew up in a home where love meant anxiety, silence, or waiting for the explosion, then calm's not going to register to you for love. It's going to feel suspicious, like the moment right before the punishment is about to hit. So when you sit across from a safe man, the one who texts you good morning, who asks you how your day went, who follows through with actions and behaviors, your stomach doesn't relax, it tightens. You start to analyze. Why is he being so nice? What does he want from me? Why do I feel nothing? You stir your drink and you glance at the clock and you already know you won't be seeing him again. Not because he's wrong for you, but because your body doesn't know how to recognize safe as attractive. And here's where your self-sabotage is going to kick in. Even if you do keep seeing him, you will start picking at the edges. You will create distance. You will test him to see if he'll leave. You'll scroll through old texts from men who hurt you just to feel that familiar sting. Because if your nervous system can't find chaos, it will manufacture it. One of my clients told me about a man she dated after she left her narcissistic, abusive husband. This man was kind, consistent, he didn't play games. On their third date, he asked what kind of flowers she liked because he wanted to surprise her. She said she smiled politely, but her whole body was screaming like, this is fake, this is weird, I'm not into this, and she ghosted him a couple days later. Meanwhile, her ex was still posting half-naked selfies and leaving rage comment on her social media, and that made her heart race. Not in the good way, but in the only way her nervous system knew. Chaos. And that's what happens when calm feels unsafe. You sabotage the very thing you say you want because it doesn't feel like home. And every time you ghost the safe man for the unpredictable one, you reinforce the pattern. When you're dating after abuse, this is a trap. You're not rejecting good love because they're not your type. You're rejecting it because your body equates calm with danger. And every time you reject the safe man or you sabotage him until he walks away, you are reinforcing that narrative. So why does chaos feel like chemistry to women who have had abusive or narcissistic relationships? That rush you call attraction, that wasn't desire. That was your survival mode. The highs and the lows, the rage text followed by the mind-blowing makeup sex, the silence that leaves you spiraling for the sudden fireworks when they reappear, that was not passion. That was your nervous system spiking adrenaline and cortisol like you were in danger, then rewarding you with dopamine when the chaos finally gave you a hit of relief. That's why the ones who keep you guessing feel magnetic to you. Why your chest drops when they cancel, then soars when they call you beautiful 3 days later. It's why your hands shake when their name lights up your phone. Another client told me she swore she had chemistry with a guy she met on a dating app. She said he was hot and cold from the start. Some nights they'd be texting until 2 a.m. Other nights he would vanish without explanation. She told me, it just feels so electric. I can't stop thinking about him. And I asked her this question. Do you feel good when you are with him? She paused because the truth was, half the time she felt sick to her stomach, checking her phone, waiting for his attention and validation. But when he finally showed up, she felt high. That's not chemistry. That is an addiction. That is your trauma on repeat. This is why dating after abuse feels like quicksand. You don't chase toxic men because you're stupid. You chase them because your nervous system has been trained to call the unpredictable ones love. And this is exactly the type of work I do with my clients inside of the Black Cat Academy. Because dating after a narcissist is not about finding the one. It's about rewiring your nervous system so you don't keep choosing men who feel like home when your home life was chaos. Our clients learn how to stop that thought. They retrain their bodies with nervous system and shadow work. They finally learn how to date without abandoning themselves. The real work begins when you start to retrain your nervous system to choose safety. And let me tell you, there's no amount of journaling that's going to rewire your body. You cannot manifest your way into a safe relationship if your nervous system is still addicted to the chaos. You have to start from the root. The first step is always going to be awareness. Awareness for us is keys. Next time you think he's boring, I want you to pause and say the real truth. This is my nervous system rejecting safety because it feels foreign. One client told me she had to keep repeating this to herself on every date she went with a man who eventually became her husband. It stopped her from bolting too soon. The regulation piece is the second piece, and it allows you to sit with safe attention. Let the silence of a man who isn't punishing you stretch across the table, and breathe into it instead of running. The first few times you try to do this, it's going to feel like suffocation. But when you stay, you teach your body that the calm does not kill you. Step 3 is discernment. Start listening to the difference. Chaos feels like a big spike and then a crash, and safety feels like grounding. The chaos is going to leave you exhausted, but the safety is going to leave you feeling steady. It's going to feel very subtle at first, but then it's going to be everything to you, and your intuition is going to gravitate towards that. The last step is having a conscious choice. This is where your transformation actually lives. At first, you want to buck and run. The safe will feel flat. The calm is going to feel boring. You are going to question a lot of things, and that's okay. But the work for you is choosing to do it anyways. Staying and sitting and calm long enough for your body to catch up. And when you do, the boring man becomes sacred. The consistency that you used to laugh at becomes something that is untouchable for you. The very thing that you've been chasing that once felt foreign becomes the only thing that feels like home to you. And until you can heal your nervous system, trauma will keep being your type. You're going to keep swiping past safety. You'll keep craving the chaos, and you're going to keep calling punishment love. But the moment you decide to take your power back and retrain your body, you get to flip the script. You stop begging for men who leave you feeling empty. You stop mistaking inconsistency for passion. And you stop calling destruction chemistry. That's when dating after abuse becomes sacred. That's when you finally choose consciously instead of choosing blindly. And you become untouchable. If this episode cracks something open for you, good. That means you're not just healing, you are evolving. Share this with another woman who needs it. Hit follow so you never miss the next one. Send me a DM on Instagram to tell me what landed for you. And if you are ready to go deeper, join me inside the Black Cat Academy, where women dating after abuse retrain their nervous systems, become the dark empath advantage, and leverage discernment to stop chasing avoidance, narcissists, or just plain assholes. And this is where you get to lean into your truth and dive deep into shadow work, becoming magnetic, untouchable, and incapable of ever settling again. This is the Narcissist Worst Nightmare podcast, and remember, you are not just hard to break, you are impossible to replace.